Rolling. Boom. Alright, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Speak At You podcast, man. We are here at a grand opening for the Highlife Studios. I got the boss man right here, my boy Jaco. He does everything though, man. I call him Jack of all trades. Jaco, Jack of all trades. You feel me? So we're gonna talk about it, man. Jaco, man, thank you for allowing us to shoot this episode in the spot, man, before you have the release party too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gonna stay tuned, watch some of that, man. And yeah, man, Jaco, man, this is a big day for you, man. Congratulations. Dropped a great album too this morning, man. It was really fire. I was fucking with it this morning. I was playing that joint.
You fucking with it?
Yeah, man. Like my man, you was saying, you got the Yeet vibes. You got some other styles in that joint too. So we're gonna talk about that, man. So like I said, you might as well start there. That's why I say just that album, right? Behind the scenes, putting a lot of work in. Despite the fact that I see you all the time. You're active in just the music space and community, bro. Just doing a lot of things, trying to learn. Just running this studio. You have the other one in Northwest DC as well, man. So it's like you everywhere. So just how did you even have time to figure out how to do this album, man?
It's crazy. Like I realized I was counting today the months. So this album's called Take Flight 2. Mm-hmm. I had actually made it last September. So I think that's 9 months. Okay. It's actually 9 months ago where I made it. But me actually making a project was it took maybe a month or so. So I had a few older songs and I had a few songs I had made just for the project. And I kind of shaped it together because Take Flight 2 comes from the original Take Flight. The original Take Flight, I had dropped that tape during 2021, around COVID, and I had caught COVID. So I was stuck in the crib for 14 days.
I know, that's
I went through all my songs, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna put this project Take Flight. And the concept behind it is just take flight, just lift off, don't worry, just fly, just let it go. So a lot of my music is try to be really well thought out, write shit, have a meaning, a purpose behind things, but Take Flight is literally just me just freestyling, expressing myself, just letting go. So that's where Take Flight 2 kind of came about, because I had locked in with Sam, shout out Basement Sam, engineered the studio, and he had mixed the project, but locking in with him, he really pushed me to develop my sound and just experiment. Right. So this album is literally all the Take Flight mixtapes, albums are all just experiments. That's it. And I can't wait for this to hear the reception tonight, and then also these other projects I got going on too.
Yeah, man. Whew, yeah, like I said, that was an interesting album for me, right? Because I was saying before, cause I told Jay all the same thing, even all my artists. I say my artists, I'm not I don't these guys. We need to stop. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, let me stop playing, man. But whenever I have artists on the podcast, I like to listen to everything that y'all have too. So I was doing some more background work. Man, anything I was like, what you doing this? That's no research that I do, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I go back and listen to.
You got a research department.
Yeah, see what's going on. So it's I can't do anything by name anything by particular name right now. But I definitely see you as someone, like you say, just experimenting with different sounds and styles of music.
Facts.
So we jokingly said next Yeet. Is that something that you feel like that style we call? What would you? I said before off camera, what would you kind of even categorize that style of music? Because that's something I've always wondered. When somebody wants to describe Yeet and stuff like that, these kids like Yeet and everything. I don't know that style of music. How would you describe it?
I'll say that style is it's interesting. I'll say Yeet because I could definitely see why. But with that, honestly, if I had to say an artist that inspired that type of sound for me, it's probably Future. And I just went through a heavy it's crazy. I always fuck with Future, always, but it's that shit just grows, bro. That shit just grows. His music is so good, it just kept growing and growing. I listen to old shit, it sounds like new shit. New shit sounds like nostalgic shit. He really has a very timeless discography. So I was just listening to that, and then like I said, locking in with Sam, locking in with his style of beats, even the way he engineers, it just brought a different side of creativity out of me. Because the typical style, like I said, is just me writing shit, me being meticulous, really coming with concepts, stories, themes. This was just expression, just boom. I feel like it's my Yeezus in a sense, just trash it, to put it together. And then it kind of evolved over time too, because like I said, I finished this about 9 months ago. And part of me wish, honestly, I dropped it back then. Because I was I wanted to drop it in that moment of time, but for some reason I didn't. I'm sure I had like good reasons, but there's never a good reason. So I'm like, I started preparing for it, listening to it. Okay, decided to drop it now. Fuck it, we're here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you said, Take Flight 2, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like it's like a double entendre in a sense, right? Because it's like
Right.
Take Flight 2 is you take, like you said, you're taking off, you're opening a second studio, right? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's perfect timing, bro. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he had to think about it, but it's like, damn, hold on, I did just do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, like, so, did you kind of realize that, make that intentional at any point, realize that, make that intentional?
Nah, that's crazy you said that. That's crazy. Like, I was just like, I never even intended to really make a Take Flight 2 when I make Take Flight 1. I thought it'd just be a one-time thing, but I was like, you know, one thing is like, I've always made music, so when you listen to older songs, when I listen to older songs, and even like older albums that I just never dropped, like I would come up with a concept, it'd be either like complete or incomplete, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never dropped it. So listening back to it, I'm like, bro, even with the flaws, even with like the little like, you know, things I might have been tweaking on, like I should have just dropped it because it stands for that moment in time. Mm-hmm. And then you speaking on Yeet, right? It's crazy because one thing about Yeet, I feel like his fan base really appreciates and they kind of adore it, kind of like certain artists. They have like great catalogs and like catalogs like unreleased shit or like not official shit. So like Lil Wayne, all the mixtapes, right? So I feel like I've been on SoundCloud, been on like archive pages where it's like a playlist with like 200-300 Yeet songs that are not official, like not, you know, they may not sound the best, mix the best, and obviously but that's part of that like growth that like certain fan bases, I guess like the best fan bases want to see out of their artists that they really support is like they're going through them with the process, and even once they make it, they want to see like how they evolve and shit. So it's interesting you say Yeet, because I kind of made that parallel in my mind, like, you know, shit, even his music now is growing and evolving. I feel like it's part of my music too.
Right. Yeah, definitely with the SoundCloud era, you know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah, like you said, it's like you just watching that artist like just go through work. I've done that a lot with like No Cap. You know what I'm saying? No Cap is one of my favorite SoundCloud. He got that bag in there, so it's like, I know he hate when
shout out No Cap.
Yeah, shout out No Cap, man.
He came to the DC studio.
Damn.
He's probably one of our best artists that we've ever had.
Wow. Hey, look at that, man. Look at it. Small world. Shout out No Cap, man. You know what I'm saying? I promote your music, dog, for sure. So you know, so let's kind of like transition into the studio and everything like that, right? Because you know, to be able to run one is kind of like, it's probably a lot. You know what I'm saying? The fact you're doing two now, like what made you decide to do that? You know, just saying, like, did you see any success in the first one that made you say, you know, well, let me do another one, or is it like accessibility? What made you want to, you know, do two of these things basically?
So we had started Highlife. It's really like. So you have JoJo, right? My business partner.
I know JoJo. Yeah,
so
JoJo.
Shout out to JoJo. His journey was sort of, he went to I met him in school. I met him at Altshausen. He had dropped out, went to audio engineering school, and then I got the opportunity to open up a studio in Gaithersburg, and this tattoo shop that also had a venue. So it was a little small studio, and then he was stuck in it there, and I was still in school, but I had like I had got my own apartment and then put like a little dorm studio in there. So that was, you know, both of us were kind of growing in that end, but like we didn't, you know, really think about like a brand or like, you know, all the other shit we're doing. We were just kind of growing in each path. Then COVID hit and I had to go back home. Right. So I was just really locked in with JoJo, and we started developing our project, which I'm looking forward to dropping later this year too. We started developing our project, the studios, and then it kind of grew from there. And then from that studio, I decided to, I had one studio too at that point. It was in Wheaton. So when I came back because of COVID, I had to stay around this way for my parents. I was working in a restaurant, and I had gotten the top floor of the restaurant through my boss, because he was just like, he was about his bread. So I was like, bro, come on, let's work something out. And then I was working in the restaurant during the day and then in the studio at night, and I was doing that for a bit while JoJo was at the Gaithersburg studio. And then I was like, okay, long story short, like shit just fucked up, and so the spot, yeah, we couldn't be there no more. It was a wild ass spot. Like that's a whole like.
Yeah.
We gotta wait like a few years to tell those stories. Like
okay, yeah, hold
crazy
on,
studios.
hold those gems, hold those gems.
Yeah,
man.
crazy studios. Yeah. So, yeah, JoJo had the Gaithersburg studio. I had one in Wheaton, and we had. So yeah, shit fucked up over there, and the shit was fucking up at the Wheaton studio too. I mean, there's certain restrictions like you couldn't smoke in there. It wasn't 24 hours. Like just it's in a restaurant, so it's like just certain restrictions. It's not like official yet, right? It's just like baby steps. Then New Year's 2022, we opened up this studio and then the DC one at the same time. So now we've been open for a year and a half officially. And yeah, that's how we do it is just great teamwork, really growth and evolving, and like there's no real blueprint for like how to start a business or be an entrepreneur or even how to be resources, especially online, and especially people that you meet that could teach you along the way. Right. But like there's really no one that could tell you or teach you like certain little things. So I'd say we've been able to do this just by like putting our effort into it, putting the right people in places and position, having like a core philosophy, a way of thinking, a way of what we want to be at the end of the day with all the different things we're doing as a studio. So it just comes with a vision, and it comes with teamwork. It comes with finding people around you that align with the common vision. So I'll say that like the greatest thing that's happened as a result of having the studios is the team that we've been able to create together.
For sure. Absolutely, man. We talk about teamwork all the time on this podcast, man. I ain't gonna keep talking about it all the time. He just laid it out for you, bro. Dude's running 2 businesses, bro, with his team, man. It's not him, it's his team. But we ain't gonna get into all that right now. We didn't talk about watch a whole bunch of the other ones. We all talk about teamwork, man, and that's how the dream works. I ain't gonna get too passionate about that right now. I'm sorry, but so what does Highlife necessarily mean to y'all though? Like what is Highlife? Where did that name come from? Why does that stand out to y'all for
Highlife, I mean, JoJo kind of picked the name, just kind of always stuck. It's kind of one of those things where like sometimes like how you get a nickname early in life and like it just sticks with you, like it just, and then sometimes you find and maybe develop meanings from it later. But Highlife, it just JoJo just breathed it into life. That shit started,
Yeah, if you know, you know, yeah.
And we've been able to, but I'm glad we picked a great name because it kind of represents, it kind of encompasses like who our audience is, who our artists are that come through the studio, the team. We're just people that, like you said, get hired in life. So,
Highlife.
Yeah. Higher living. All that.
For sure, man. That's lit, man. Shout out to the team, man, because y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all making things like this happen. I came to this location not too long ago for Pearls. You mentioned the artist. Shout out Pearls, man. Had his one of his album releases here, man. So definitely doing y'all doing the same thing. Provide community, providing space, man. Letting people explore their talent and grow. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. And it's funny. I saw I kind of just roam around every now and then. I see you as someone who likes to stay reading and books. What's the value in that for you?
That's crazy, cause you don't even know our shit. I like that. I like
you
was talking shit. I like that. Bruh, it's crazy. So when I was young, it was me, my sister, my mom. My mom would have to go to work all day. It's on the weekends. So we would take 2 buses, go to the library. She'd drop us off, and then she'd drop us off and then come back way later. So I'd be in the library like every day for like 10 hours. And the crazy thing is you could only have 1 hour computer time. So I could only like have fun for 1 hour. The rest of the 9 hours was just reading. That's why I just read. Literally just read all day. I was reading I read every Harry Potter jump in like 3rd grade.
You was one of them Harry Potter book readers? That book was big as shit, bro. I ain't
gonna hold you, bro. I was reading some wild shit too, cause there was like, there's some wild fucking books, bro. Yeah. Almost every book is wild as shit. Mm-hmm. Think about it, like fiction, history shit, like Tom Sawyer. Like that's considered like kids book. I don't know, some wild shit, but
yeah.
Shit, I don't know. I haven't really read. I read a lot as a kid, but I haven't. Getting older, like I have to really find the time to read. So I've been trying to, like, consciously do it. But my bad habit is like now when I read a book, I read like the first third of it and then put it down, and just start a new book. Because sometimes I feel like I understand the full meaning in the first third, or sometimes I feel like now when I read like a business book or like autobiography, like I really gotta take time to digest like certain shit that I read. Like it's too pivotal or it's too crazy to not like take time and maybe apply what it's saying. But yeah, fuck with reading.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to. It's my thing. Like I think for me, especially when I was younger, you know what I'm saying. It was the choice of books, especially that the schools gave. I was like, that it didn't motivate me as much. You know what I'm saying. But I got to college though. I talk about this every now and then. I was like, they gave me some books in this class that I was interested in. This African American literature class, and I finally had something to read that felt like I had substance in. You know what I'm saying. So, that was like reading is crucial. I feel like, especially for I feel we talk about music. It's part of art in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, because you learning new words. You just learning how to play some things together. You sentences, all the structures of how to say things. Like you can tell. Like you know what I'm saying. Especially I can tell with your music. You just have different flows, different varieties, all different types of things. So it's like it all just comes together. I feel like it's parallel in life for real.
Yeah, like reading definitely helped shape the writing for sure. Cause it was all like all I cared to read about was stories. It didn't matter like in what form. It could be some like anime shit. It could be a fiction book. It could be even TV, like even TV shows, like whatever form of story, like. And I don't know why, but I was just so enamored by like good storytelling, characters, like the rise, fall. Like when I started reading early on, like elementary school, right? And I'll say like middle school is when I just really started listening to hip hop. Like all my friends, everything. So like the type of music I would really gravitate towards was at first like storytelling shit, like Biggie, Nas, Tupac. All the old school shit where you just had great storytelling, and then it was like Kanye, Lupe Fiasco, Jay-Z. Like I was just enamored by it. I don't know, like it felt like a movie. Certain songs would really feel like a movie.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then out in middle school still at the time, that's when like MTV, BET, VH1 was popping. Yeah. So I was seeing the music videos, and I was really like, okay, damn, like I think I remember seeing Biggie, was it Juicy, where he's in Brooklyn, and like just the scenery, shit like that. Because growing up in Moco, Maryland, like the area I was growing up in, like it was, I don't know how to describe it, but it was really weird. Like I grew up in low income housing in this area called Picton, which is in Gaithersburg, right? But surrounding it is like really high end suburban houses that could like just get better and better and better. Yeah. And then surrounding that is like farm area. Yeah. But then if you go like 10 minutes or 15 minutes that way, it's like you get cities, you get Rockville and shit. So it's like I was always used to like different I guess seeing different characters in real life. Like real life, you
culture and all that.
I literally grew up with characters, and my neighborhood was full of characters, and I'm reading books about characters, and I'm listening to music about characters and story and setting and all that shit. And that's what all what it is still to this day. I guess music, like that's what it kind of boils down to. From an artist blowing up, like I guess you relate to them more. You're able to fuck with them more when they have a story you're attached to, or a story that you can believe in, or a story that you feel like represents you, or a story that inspires you, or makes you feel sad, makes you feel whatever. But it's like that feeling is like the relationship between the person who's listening to it and the person who's making it. That's what makes it like that connection to music. So
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, when I make music, I don't think about this shit, but I'm just
Right.
like, it's just, I guess, how it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the way you just articulated that, it seems like, you know, you're that's why you can be able to run studios and do that, because, you know, seriously though, not seriously, but you work, that means you work with a lot of artists, and like, that means you probably get a lot of questions. You probably,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, people have to, they want input, they want all these different types of feedback from you. So it's like, you have to figure out a way to deliver that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you just being a knowledgeable person through just reading and literature and all this stuff back in the day, you're able to articulate these things to these artists and stuff like that. So, you know, that's I feel like that's a good bridge to have.
Right.
So, you know, talk about that sometimes in the relationships you build with your artists when you're not in artist mode. You know what I'm saying? You're in that kind of management studio mode.
Like, I feel like having the studios and being in the studio like every day, literally. Like, motherfuckers say they be in the studio, but I'm in the studio because I have to be. I'm in this studio, the DC studio, other studios in the DMV. I'm always in the studio, so I feel like being in that, I'm kind of privileged to like have access to and have met so many great people, like that have helped me in my journey and vice versa. So that's another blessing too. I would say, like I said, the biggest blessing of having this business is the team that we have, and then also the community of artists that are a part of everything we're doing. And I'll say, like, you know, I always say, like, in the DMV right now, it's never been more studios, artists, managers, creators, entertainers, videographers, right? If you think about it, like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, like 10 years ago when I was a kid, like, I couldn't come to a studio.
Right.
Like, I didn't know any studios. I just literally didn't know about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you see me in the other room making a song with the iPhone.
Off the phone.
Shout out Pip.
Y'all gonna see that, y'all gonna see that promo on that, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, that shit was crazy.
So we literally making songs on the phone. Yeah, and we're in the studio, so you see how far like things really advance. So it's like, yeah. So the artists that come through, Highlife, that like, you know, that participate in our events, our artist events, producer events, that have kind of grown with us. That's another cool thing. Like, we are like 2 years old, 2, 3-ish, if you count like the older studios and stuff and the clients we've been locked in with. Seeing them grow and develop is also equally as cool because they've seen us grow and develop. So now I think it's at a great point because I feel like we're right on the cusp of crossing the line and being able to say, all right, to these artists that we're locked in with in our community, all right, we got y'all. Like, we're really developing something right now that's creating a bridge between the artists and their dreams, essentially. Because now in the DC studio, we just got the other room, so we got the whole building now, and we got a photography production studio we're building. So content rooms and things of that nature, editing rooms, like, you know, whatever happens to offer to artists. And I feel like the way to avoid that is like, it's like year by year, it's like dog years, like 7 years. So every year in a business, you should really think, how am I going to 10x it the next year? Because that has to be your trajectory and growth. Because you have no option, otherwise you're going to fail. So you literally have to go like this in a business, right? And on the surface, it might seem steady, it might seem cool, but like, you're really going like this in order to sustain shit, right? So, I forgot my original point, but I think in business, that's how you have to kind of think and operate. So for us, right, it's like, all right, we started off, cool, we're selling studio time. Yeah. You want to make music, you come here and make music, good quality music, great engineers, cool. And then because we had the venue in the original studio in the tattoo shop, obviously we threw like events just to, you know, and we're like, oh shit, okay. Like in that area where nothing's happening, like 100 people, 150 people coming to do shows or coming to our shows. And we threw 3 shows before like COVID happened and really fucked shit over. Like when COVID happened, I still tried to throw shows, and like Montgomery County was on some like fucking KGB like I'm getting a text from like the CDC like, yo, bro, like don't throw that show, like shit like and I tried 2 different times. The first time it was like they called called the owner of the tattoo shop, and they were like, yeah, we heard, there's a show, or like, it was deep. Like, I was like, yo, what the fuck? We really couldn't fuck around, but, yeah.
Shit, man, that's amazing, man. So, you getting ready to do your album release, man. How you feeling right now? How you got people ready?
I hear the people, but you know what?
How you feeling, man?
They gotta wait, man. Fuck it, we got gotta make people wait sometimes. There's a subtle art in that, but I feel excited. I feel happy. I feel proud. It's like when you drop a project, it's like you giving birth. Your child is in the world, and then you just let go. Right. At least for me, like when I drop, I mean, in real life it shouldn't be that way, but in music, when I drop albums, I usually I listen to it so much beforehand that when it drops, I don't really listen to it again until like time passes by. I go back.
Time, age,
because what I'm happy about is people get to experience it and hear it for the first time, or maybe the first few times.
With you though.
With me, exactly. So it's super exciting, super fun. I have a lot of videos still attached to this project that I'm gonna drop after it drops to give people even more more depth to the sort of story. But I feel like take flight. I'm gonna keep it loose for now, but there's definitely some ideas and concepts I have even for future projects. What's his name? Absol. He's a rapper. He has this what the fuck is it called? Long term. I think the mixtapes is called Long Term Mentality or something. So he has long term mentality 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And he said he had dropped 1, which was crazy as shit. It was fire. He had dropped 2, and he was like, I'm not dropping 3 until I'm a millionaire, and 4 until I'm a billionaire or some shit like that. And I was like, that's fire. It's fire shit.
Fuck that, man. Shit, it's a good path, man. Good trajectory. A lot of things I see, going well for y'all, bro. So we're gonna keep you your congratulations and give you your props.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, this is, great atmosphere, bro. I like coming in the Highlife, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you.
Coming in this job, I feel
Appreciate
cool.
you.
Just listen to the tracks and all that. So, obviously, before we start wrapping things up, we're obviously in the DMV, right? A lot of things have been going on, especially with the DMV lately. Like you said, you got with everything we just talked about here today, man. How would you feel your contribution is, just pushing the DMV forward?
I feel like pushing the DMV forward, right? It's a great thing to say in conversation and movement to get behind, but I feel like that can't be on the shoulders of one person, and that's why I feel like a lot of people they find it hard to actually push the DMV forward because it's not one person, it's all of us together, right? It's like the IDK situation that just happened, it's like I think part of what he was saying was it's not just me that can just sign every artist. I can't just sign every artist, be like, that's how I'm gonna put the DMV on. It's gonna take a lot to put us on by putting ourselves on, right? And embracing all the shit that makes the DMV different. The DMV is the only tri-state music area in the world, right? So you have Los Angeles, it's a city, New York City, state, whatever, Atlanta City, but the DMV is really 3 kind of major states, or DC is a city. So how do you encompass and build all of that? You just have to embrace. But that's the first step. Just embrace it. Embrace go-go. Embrace DMV trap. Embrace all the R&B singers, all the Latino artists. Just from the studio perspective, it's not just one sound that's being made. Right. Whether that holds us back or pushes us forward, that's up to us, right? It's up to us to determine. We don't have one Cali sound or one Atlanta or Memphis type of sound. It's a lot of different sounds, a lot of different characters, a lot of different stories, and what I can do is, I guess, lead by example. Because I'm not responsible for any artist.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yet. But, shit, I gotta be responsible for myself first and kind of blaze my own path. And meanwhile, I say at the least, just congratulate everybody that's around you, that's in your state, that made it where you're from, that looks like you, that, congratulate and celebrate those success stories. No matter how you feel, no matter the indifference, no matter, like, if you like their music or not, like, just celebrate that shit. Be happy, be proud that they came from where you came from.
That's real. Absolutely, man. That's a great way. I feel like we can end it right there. You know what I'm saying? We can
For sure.
let the people know. Got a top 5 of 5 coming up real soon, man. But before we wrap it up, you know what I'm saying, Jaco, man, thank you one more time again, my boy.
Thank you.
Great energy on the podcast here today, man. Getting ready to do this album release party. I hope you have a great time with the people, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably catch a little bit of it. But yeah, man. Thank you, man. Once again, man, make sure you go like, comment, subscribe, go tell somebody, man. Jaco, you doing this thing, bro. You doing this thing, man. It's a lot of love and peace in here, man. Love y'all. See y'all soon.
Peace.